So our first speaker is Brother Gary, a longtime activist, member of the New England chapter of Black Lives Matter, and owner of the Original Man Clothing Company. Gary Dantzler is from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. He grew up in the 70s and 80s in a hostile environment trying to survive the concrete jungle. His mom did her best to raise 10 kids in a drug-infested neighborhood. He's seen the aftermath of drugs and violence in our communities. He was a victim of violence at a young age and found out early about racial conflicts that ended up in senseless casualties. During this time, he looked up to his mother because she was very brave and showed valor in getting them proper government housing and financing. In 1985, Gary moved to Rhode Island, where he experienced the cultural clash. Coming up, there were not a lot of positive role models or mentors in the community. People of different ethnicities were distant and had lack of education on cultural backgrounds. Due to these complications, educating the African American population through his clothing line is his passion. Through his life experience, he has learned life lessons as well as morals that he would like to pass on to the African American community. His ambition is to be positive and think positive for his community. He dedicates this to his ancestors who basically put America on their backs and never complained. His life ambition is to teach and educate the African American population and to remain a positive figure to his community. The outcome of his line is not to profit, but to educate the young African American population as well as the adults. This line is not only for the African American population, but for all people willing to learn about cultural diversities. So welcome, Brother Gary.
Good morning, everybody. I want to say it's an honor to be here. We got some work to do as far as education. Like she said, I'm one of the spokespersons of Black Lives Matter. We've been advocating for a while. I want to say that, I'm proud of everybody being out here today. And one of the things we talk about is the Constitution, where we know the Constitution was wrong, but we must respect it. It's the law. Also, that it wasn't made for people of color, and it was also, to shame our forefathers, but we don't want to do that. I want to talk about, the Second Amendment, where, that doesn't apply to people of color across this nation, right? The Second Amendment, we talk to bear arms, but some people of color, they have a record. Some has, these frictions that discourage us to go the right to vote. It's unfair, the Justice Department, from the Constitution. So it starts about education, especially with what's going on today. The crimes that we see in America are basically, they're rigged on so many levels, and it's an honor to educate people of color and also people such as yourself as a different background, because it's very overwhelming to know the truth about our country. And sometimes it hurts, but we must continue this fight and this dialogue about education. Not that you guys are racist, that we're racist. We just want justice. And this is a great way to start the dialogue, to be honest about the whole discussion about education. And it goes back to today. The shooting deaths of people, countless bodies and lives been snuffed, and using the law and these distractions again. So, we're here to say that Black Lives Matter. It starts with everybody's lives, but we're talking about Black Lives Matter because that's the issue. It's almost overwhelming and heart-wrenching to watch this time and time. Some of the police officers are getting scot-free using the law again under these conditions to say a white privilege, that I have a white privilege. Now, it shouldn't be a fraction again because I'm white and I shoot someone who's black or she's black and use the law. This is unjustified. We have to stop and think about, what if the shoes were on the other's foot? What if that officer was a black officer and he gunned down a white person like that? The mentality of America, what we've been embedded in, what we learned today, is unfortunate, but we still can fix it. I believe in our country. There's some problems, and this race, we need to talk about it and really fix these laws. And that's how you start talking about Black Lives Matter. Because my life really matters, and my kids' lives matter. You understand? So all the minorities in America, we all are one culture of people. We share the same irony, and that is the American dream. We have people of color, again, we've been snuffed out of that dream time and time again. It hurts to watch white America sit and do nothing about it. It's unfortunate, but we have to fight, and you are the future. We need you, and you are honorable. We love you for that, and keep standing up and keep fighting, because without you, there is no possibility for us to be here. That's why we change, to make things better. Black lives is going to always matter. And I mean, so many laws, especially that Second Amendment, it drives me crazy that the NRA does not even acknowledge people of color. And this is, and you know, we in our communities that we lost so many lives, right? We lost so many lives under that gun law, right? That's unregistered, you know, firearms in the wrong possessions of people. You know, whether they're from criminals or whoever. I just think that in America we have to be careful. You know, the NRA, we should have been targeting the NRA a long time ago. I mean, there's countless, hundreds of thousands of bodies all around this country that minority men have lost their lives, and minority families have lost their lives because of these infractions. So again, we must cover all bases. All bases of racism, white supremacy, white privilege. That's huge in the Justice Department and in the justice system. I mean, you know, we have to educate people more and more, from politicians to politics. Let's be abroad and be neighbors the right way and care about black lives. We have to. That is the future of America. We build a country, we got no reparation, none. You know, so it's just startling to see that we're neighbors, but we're not seen for credibility. You know, so we have to change that in moderation of what's going on today, okay? Because, you know, we have all the shooting deaths ignored in the court system, ignored.
Not acceptable.
Definitely not acceptable. So we need your push, we need your effort, we need your love and your compassion and your patience for all. And let's make a change in America to understand that, right?
Yeah.
Because we have other groups coming in, you know?